The global footwear market has been averaging a 5.5% steady growth over the last few years and is expected to gross $371.8 billion by year 2020. The rising demand for fancy, trendy, stylish yet comfortable footwear among all age groups is a key factor driving the global footwear industry. In Nigeria, the footwear manufacturing industry is dominated by the Aba clusters, which is made up of over 70,000 small-scale businesses and is estimated to be worth over 96 billion naira. Despite churning out millions of shoes from their factory lines annually, the Aba footwear industry is still unable to meet the growing demand for shoes by Nigeria's estimated 180 million people. Talk TV on this episode meets with one of several young Nigerian entrepreneurs who will venture to exploit opportunities in the footwear industry by bringing in new innovations to reshape its production and marketing landscape. Welcome, Oluwaseun Bamiro, Chief Executive Officer, Why Not Wears Limited. Now, I'd like to know what instigated your decision to embark on footwear business.
Yeah, first thing is my passion for an entrepreneur. It's not that I actually learned to do the shoes or something. It's just the passion which I started in as an entrepreneur. And
since when?
Yes, since my early days when I was about to enter the university.
Shortly after secondary school?
Yeah, shortly after secondary school, I lost my dad. And he has been trying to transit from doing a job into an entrepreneur.
Okay, so your dad tried to transit from employee to entrepreneurship, and you watched him do that?
Yeah, I watched him do that, and it actually affected a lot in the house then, because he was going into something he has not been doing.
He didn't have the know-how.
At an older age, which is not going to be so easy when you have a lot of expenses and So he died along the line. So since then, I've been looking and watching the whole process. So before then, I had in mind that I must look for another way of doing things. I don't know what entrepreneurship was then
at that time,
but I just knew I wanted to do the business.
You don't want to end up like your dad.
Like my dad, just it.
So very early on, you already embraced the notion of entrepreneurship.
Yes,
did you do anything along that line while you were an undergraduate?
Yes, when I was about to enter the Polytechnic of Lagos State, I was fortunate to stay with my uncle in Lagos, where we have a lot of my older cousins who are actually in the same house, like almost 12 of us, and they were able to get a job. So that's actually prompted like, this same thing is happening. These people have been out of school for like 3 years. They were still unable to get a job. So luckily for me, one of them started a business then in Yaba. So he started selling Tampico 300 naira. So he needed to establish one in Ikorodu. So he needed somebody to aid that one in Ikorodu. So they were just talking and they were saying they needed somebody. I was like, can I try to help you to do this? I said, you're young. I said, don't worry, let me just try it, and if you see if it's going to work. So that was my first time in trying to aid a little business.
To run a business.
Yes. So
and how long were you in that business?
Yeah, I was with him for like 8 months. I was the one distributing the product in Ikorodu, selling in the middle of the street, 300 naira on the road, on the tarmac. So I gathered some small farm boys who actually hug the products. So my own is just for them to just give me the money, and
then you replenish the stock for them.
So I did it for like 6 months, and later on he got admitted into a university abroad to do his masters. So he needed to sell the business. So I actually used my school fees money to buy the business.
You don't
say. So that was my first business then.
You bought the business from your cousin?
Yeah, I bought the business from him.
And you became a full-fledged entrepreneur from
yes,
that point?
But indirectly I learned a lot of things during that time, because I didn't do the business for more than 6 months.
You used your school fees to buy the business of your cousin, who was going abroad for further studies.
Yes.
But if I may just chip this in, you actually used your school fees for your formal education to pay for education as an entrepreneur.
Yes, you're very right. But my intention then was to understand the basics of business. So after 6 months, I pay my school fees back. But I tell you, I didn't do the business for more than 1 year after he gave the business to me.
What happened?
Yes, after paying my school fees, I was having some money, I was buying researches, buying latest phones. So I never knew I've actually took so much fun from the business in doing all those things. So before I know it, the thing wasn't really, I don't understand what
you were making money.
I was making money, I was spending it.
And because of that, you were just taking care of yourself, your personal needs.
I was just buying things for people, and I was just like, I'm a big boy, I was in school, so I needed to just
flex.
To flex.
You wanted to flex. And you burnt your finger.
I burnt my finger, but...
And I bet you learned your first business experience.
Yes.
Your first business lesson.
That was my first business lesson. Yes, but luckily for
you don't dip your hand in your working capital. That's the number one lesson an entrepreneur must learn. Many of us have burnt our fingers that way too, and we learned our lessons.
Yes, I think it's actually normal. It's just part of the,
So after that, you didn't go into business again?
Yes, after that, luckily for me, before I end up the business, I was opportune to join a network marketing business. So
you wrapped up the business?
Before, yes, which I also used the money from the business to start up the network marketing business. And it was a very huge amount of money to join the network then. To buy, in network marketing business, you have to buy a product, you sell the product and others. So indirectly,
was that the one you did with some Asians?
Yes.
Because we gathered the work for some Asians.
Yes, that was what I did with the Asians then. I saw them on the internet. They told me to come for an interview, which I came, and I started business with them. So that actually helped me a lot. So indirectly, I actually went from a business to another business. So I had to stop. They teach me how to brand the product. The way this Asian tissue business is different from the normal way we do, because they tend to teach you how to sell, how to market, how to tell people that this stone you're having, this stone can heal you of so many diseases, and you have to believe in this. So that they know how to work with the mindsets of people, which I actually learn so much from.
They know how to work with the mindset of the customer.
Of the customers.
Coming up.
My integrity, what I was taught is you have to have an integrity. I cannot sell a product that is having a foreign brand name on it. This is actually made in Nigeria. Why not our own name? That is how we got the Why Not name from.
And get them to make that decision to make purchases.
So I was with them for like 5 years, which are one of the best.
So while you were studying as an undergraduate, you were involved with network marketing with the Asians, and that was like your business school.
That was in fact, that was actually helped me out through the business angle. So I was able to learn so much. I met with people. They taught me branding, which I would have spent so much of money to learn that. So it was a nice experience.
So while you were working for the Asians in network marketing, you learned many business principles in those 5 years, among which are branding and packaging, which you use so efficiently now, I must say. Also the art of selling because that's what business is all about. And then the art of leveraging. We'll talk about all of these things later on. But I'm interested in knowing the footwear business. Of all the things in the world, you could have done other businesses. Why this footwear business?
Yeah, in 2009, after making so much money from the network marketing business, after I was out of school then, I had a lot of money, so I invested into the forex markets.
Forex trading.
So in 2010, I lost 99% of the whole money I've gathered for so long into that business. But because of the dream that I actually don't want to look for a job, I have it in mind that anything I'm doing, it has to be business. So in 2009, after investing in forex markets and
losing all your money,
lost all the money there. So in 2010, my girlfriend, she bought me slippers then. So after buying me that slippers, a lot of my friends needed more. They needed the same slippers. So I was getting orders from my friend to give it to the producer. So after producing like 10 to 15 of that show, I was like, come, this guy, you cannot be making this money alone. Why can't you produce for me? I now sell to my friend. So he said, there's no problem, that I will just make some commission on this sale. I said, no problem. But I noticed he was doing a foreign name. He was putting a foreign name on that shoe. Yeah. I was like, why are you doing a good shoe like this, a good slippers like this, and you are putting a foreign shoe, a foreign name on the product?
A foreign brand.
A foreign brand. He told me that if he put any other name or his own name on the brand, people will not buy it because they don't believe in what they made here in the country. So I told him, no, my integrity, what I was taught is you have to have an integrity. I cannot sell a product that is having a foreign brand name on it. I said,
for the Asians.
For the Asian, you know. I told him, I cannot use this foreign name. Why not? This is actually made in Nigeria. Why not our own name? Why not make? In fact, we are using that name. Why not? That is how we got the Why Not name from. Why Not made in Nigeria? Why not our own? That is where we got the name
That's just
from.
coming to me now, because I must confess, the first time I saw your brand name, it was on a billboard. I was driving on the road and I saw Why Not Wears. I said, okay, foreigners are moving into the city. Okay, the economy is growing. Then one day I went into a departmental store and I saw your products displayed conspicuously in a very centralized location in the store, and I said, okay. And it was from that store that I got your call number, and I came over to your store to spy on your business. We watched you for a while. So that's how you came about that.
That's how it came about.
Why not?
Why not if not? So it was normal.
And then you were able to coin that around.
I just coined that around to form WHYNOT.
And I must say that's a banger. That's a banger. As someone who is interested in brand and christening of brands, that name is a banger. All right, so you met this guy, and your eyes were open from the way requests were pouring in from your friends.
Yeah, sure.
And you began to think to yourself, how come I'm making money for this guy? I could also make money in the process. So you moved from being a consumer to a partner.
Yes.
If I may get you
yes,
right.
Yeah, sure, you're right.
So what happened thereafter?
After that,
are you still in partnership with the guy now?
No.
So what happened?
It's not possible because after, he was doing it in a little way, like 20, 30.
Yeah.
So, and
like
the experience I had in marketing, I've already taken of how to do it in hundreds. Scale.
You were already thinking of
I was already
taking
large, taking branding, taking logo, taking a lot of things.
And you learned that from the Asians too?
I learned all those things from the branding aspect of the business I was in before. So I noticed it doesn't have the capacity to produce the number of slippers we needed. Or maybe it doesn't just have the vision in which I'm coming in from. So I was too exposed to him. So after that we added more. We didn't leave him, but we added more people into it. We added more.
Okay, so your own strategy was not to go and learn.
No. There's no time to do that again. Yeah, it got to a time that we have to start the production ourselves too. We have to buy machines, start producing ourselves, but it still wasn't really my kind of thing. I was having so much of a headache with them. It was interesting along the way actually.
So you expanded the number of producers that you were using at a point because you wanted to enjoy volume of skills
at a very short period of time.
At a short duration production, you wanted the production time.
That is leverage I learned from those guys too.
Well, no, we'll come to talk about some of these things later on that you have learned. But what you're telling me now is that for you to get started, all you required were the knowledge you have about selling, about marketing, about branding. And that was just all you applied. You didn't bother about the technical aspect of production.
At all.
You only sought out.
The first thing is to sell.
You only sought out people who can produce, and you commissioned them to produce for you. Who was involved in the design of the shoes? Were you the ones giving them design?
At the early stage, I was the one bringing out the design. Then I was the one bringing out the whole thing. I was the one telling them this kind of spec I want. The kind of, because
How were you coming up with those designs that you were
I was
giving
able
them?
to. I understand the Google very well, so I did all my design from Google. I actually have some friends who are actually very good in artwork. So we all come together and come up with a lot of these different designs
and styles
for the product.
And I bet you'll also take pains during when you go to socialize to look at people's feet.
It is, because anytime I walk around, all I look is just the leg.
That's all you see.
I see just your leg. I don't know how my house will just come down to your leg.
And once you see something,
Yes,
I bet you have a photographic memory. You just bam. And that's
you know what to do.
Now, I'd like to know, how did you raise startup capital? Because you told us earlier that you made money from network marketing and then you poured the money into forex trading and you lost all of your money. So you were broke at the time you started this business.
Yes, I was so broke that one day one of my cousins in Abuja called me that they got a job for me if I would like to do a job. I was like, God, am I that broke now that I need to get a job? Because I told him, no, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to write a CV, because it was actually my dream that I don't want to write a CV. So I told him I'm not going to come up with any CV. I'm going to, less than 6 months after this, when I saw the inspiration of the show
of the footwear.
So I never wanted to. How do I raise the money? Yes, my mom actually has some small fund which I told him to borrow me then, like 100,000 naira, which I used to start up the product then.
Because you started with it by 100,000 naira.
Yes, by then that was the first initial money. Apart from my little money I have too, but I started with 100,000 naira. We took the product to redemption camp. The first production we did was we took it to the redemption camp. We had a lot of sales. After making the sales, coming back from redemption camp, we are unable to see that kind of sales again. Yes, because once people buy the product, because the rapport they have with you, some will not pay, some will tell you they'll pay later, and so many ways that is discouraging me from doing the business. But later on,
initially you started by hawking.
Hawking, yes, we have to hawk the products. You have to take it to banks, take it to your friend, but you know how they do. You try to do a very good product, they will price it down.
Yeah.
After pricing it down, they'll still not give you the money instantly.
Because they know the producer.
Because they know
It's
the producer.
next door.
They know it's just a friend.
Shown now.
It's just a friend, Nagloshele. It's just a friend, you know. So it was so difficult then selling to people. So get to a time where we were putting on a car, selling, but it was not easy. So, but while I was passing through that line, I was thinking of what other ways to sell this product. What other ways to this? So when I just thought of one of my friends his uncle owned a supermarket. And I told him, Dele, how are you doing? Can you help me to talk to your uncle that we can sell my products in a store?
Wow.
So that was the first thing we did. We went to meet his uncle. He doesn't believe in the idea, but because they have sold several foreign shoes.
He wasn't excited when
he wasn't like
the proposition.
It wasn't like we have sold several foreign shoes and it's not selling. I said, sir, please just try. That was in 2010. So I just try the product. Let's see how it's going to go. He said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a product, but we are not going to buy into it. Once we make a sales, we take our own commission and give it to you. I said, fine, there's no problem. Take in 20%.
As long as you put it in your
store. As long as it's just in your store. So we put the store there. That was around December 2010. We started 40 products in the store.
40 items.
Less than 2 weeks, we sold 98% of it. The man was like, what? It was so like, how do you do it? Because I was able to, what actually happened then, they were buying foreign shoes to sell in the store.
Yeah.
But me, I'm producing. So we are able to produce different products and different sizes. So you are seeing the product, you are seeing your size you want to buy. But for this foreign shoe, you see what you like, but you won't see the size. So we're able to do less products, but a lot of sizes, so that a lot of
in
people
a way, kind of customized.
And we put a shelf there. We brand it up. Why not? We make it so obvious.
You had a branded
shelf. We had a branded shelf. We did
an
differently.
Existing supermarket.
Yes.
And I bet that was costing you less than when you were hawking all over the place.
It's so sweet.
So you were selling at
in fact, we will sell higher than what we are selling to my friend then. Why? Because the store which they have marked up with their money there, and also the kind of products we have to put there which can actually compete with the little foreign shoe they have there. We have to upgrade the product then. And I tell you, less than 3 weeks, we were.
And there's a marketing experience that I'm deriving from this postulation now, which is that instead of reinventing the wheel by scouting around for prospects, for customers, what you did was to identify existing facilities where people already throng. I mean, a supermarket already has its crowd any day, anytime, and different levels, different status. And what you did was just to embed yourself strategically in a conspicuous point in that supermarket, such that you are leveraging. Again, the power of leveraging. That you learned from the Asians came handy here. And the supermarket has already done all of the marketing, all of the drumming, bringing the crowd in.
Everything.
And all you were just doing is just to position yourself strategically, and you're just beeping. Fantastic. Now, you did that in that store.
Sure.
For how long? Before you moved on to the next stage of your evolution?
Yeah, we did that for like 2 months, and when we saw the progress of it, we actually went to meet another supermarket. We talked to them that we have done this thing in this particular supermarket. This is the result of it.
Wow.
Can you try it in your supermarket? They say, come on. They just give it. So
that's leveraging again.
So keep leveraging from one store.
That's the power of leveraging again, because you were leveraging on your success in the first supermarket, and you began to replicate that.
Right now we have close to 64 outlets now.
64 outlets. You don't say.
Different part of the country now.
We'll come to that later on. Now, but I'd like to know, at what point did it occur to you that you needed to have your own branded self-service store?
Yes, when we...
Because in Ibadan alone, I know you have about 3 stores.
Yes, 3, sure. By the time I was, because of the experience I have in business then, when I started Why Not, I didn't just start on my own. I have mentor, which from the first day we actually have the idea of Why Not, we actually drew up a business plan, a plan ahead. So after 3 years, we don't know, we're just putting figures. We're just believing that this is how it's going to be.
So you have a strategic
So we
plan.
have a map line of what we want to do. That after 3 years, even when I was registering Why Not, I didn't register Why Not shoes. I registered Why Not wears. Why? Because we already put it down what other things we want to do apart from the shoes.
What we are going to evolve into.
So we had a plan. We had a plan that after 4 years we have moved to Silver's Market.
So you having your store now is just an execution of a plan, a strategic plan you already had.
So after 3 years of operation, we have to come up with our own shop, which we did after the 3rd year.
Which you did after the 3rd year. And it's a good thing that you talked about diversification, that you had it as part of your plan when you set out.
Yes.
I'd like to know how you conduct market research, because you wouldn't have been able to put up a business plan without doing your market analytics and market research. How did you go about doing that?
Yeah, I leverage on people, which is
your relationship with people.
Yeah. Then I have cousins who are actually they're actually at the very top post in the banking sector, so they understand the research very well. So I used to sit down with them. We come up with different things on it, different things. Google, do a lot of research for how we want to do it. In fact, there was one time when we want to launch our store, we actually come up with a slogan called "At the Serve New Shoes, Think Why Not." So it was actually a hit, for introducing the store.
So you didn't use consultants?
No, I didn't.
You just identified
professionals
whom you already had filial relationship with, and you approached them, and they were willing to help you.
They were willing to help me because they saw the tenacity, they saw the zeal for me right from day one.
So the passion that you exhibited was able to draw them.
Yeah, so they were willing to help.
Coming up.
And because of my relationship with the supermarket owners, I was able to move with some of them very well to understand how they merchandise their products. And I tell you, I leverage on people experience a lot. So I look at their principle very well. I look at their approach to business. I learn from them. I move around there and see what they do. and people around me. So when I'm coming out with something, I pass out to people to come up with their own opinion on it. But there was no consultant at all at the early stage.
At the early stage,
There was no consultant at all.
no consultant because
In
you
fact, I
couldn't
come up
afford
with
it.
I decided an issue myself. And
Because you couldn't afford consultant at the
I
time.
wasn't
anyway.
even thinking of consultants then, so I wasn't, because I don't have the money, I don't need to take what I don't, what I cannot afford. I don't need to think it, because you just give yourself
So
some
your
headache,
own
you
way
know.
around that was to seek out mentors, because you mentioned now that you had mentors. And also to identify relatives, friends,
Yes,
and people you just
opinions.
know around who are already professionals in those
their
various
fields.
fields. So you put your team together by leveraging on your relationship,
yes.
which some will call social capital.
Social capital. Yeah.
So for you, capital was not just about finances,
At all.
but also
It's
about
about
your social
relationships.
relations. Who is your core target customer?
Well, what we look at then is just an average Nigerian.
Yeah, but that's very bland and ubiquitous. Don't they say that you need to be specific when you are targeting a market?
Yeah, because of the market in which we are going into, which is the supermarket,
Yeah.
from supermarket area, we're just able to look at the average Nigerians and their needs. That is what we are actually looking at.
Their footwear
Their
needs.
footwear needs. Before we start introducing the belt and some
But
other
I bet it's been working for you anyway.
Sure.
And that way, you're probably not going to want to reinvent this
No.
approach.
We are not doing that.
One thing I must commend you on, your branding and packaging is commendable, applaudable.
Thank you very much, sir.
Where did you get all of those branding and packaging ideas from? You said you didn't use a consultant.
I didn't use both.
So where did you get all these ideas from?
Yeah, it's actually from the lesson, the experience I had before. You know, I had close to almost 8 years experience before Why Not.
Yeah.
And Why Not should
In
be
business.
Yeah, and Why Not should be my fifth business.
Your fifth
My
business.
fifth business. Apart from the spending money in forest, I had some things I did again before. So it's actually it's
you've been
it's the
gathering experiences.
Experience. That's why I tell people that when it might take you 5 to 10 businesses before you can actually get the right business to do.
Whoa.
So when you lose money in the first business or second business, just don't think it's all over.
Wow.
It's just a part of experience.
So what I'm deducing from you now is that you should see entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial venture as a journey.
It's a journey.
That there will be landmarks, there will be bus stops,
There will be a lot.
there will be intersections, there will be junctions.
In fact, it creates more.
And of course, I want to say for you, it's probably a lifetime journey.
It is.
So
It is.
if people see it that way, then they will have a long-term view of things and they will be less despondent when situations happen. Because situations will happen. Life will happen. In business, ugliness will come. But if you know and you understand that it's a journey, then you will see that, okay, these are things, these are the potholes.
If you have actually burn your ship, when you burn your ship, you know that there's no way, there's no going back. You have to face the wall.
That's the strategy that Hannibal used. Hannibal, the greatest African warrior ever. So you do a lot of packaging. I've been to your stores. Like I said, we did a few espionage activities before we approached you to feature on the program. And we spied around your premises. One of our production assistants also made purchases of 2 shoes from your store. And we saw the way you organize things. It couldn't just have been cousins and uncles. Maybe you're holding back ideas. You didn't go to a business school. You must be learning from somewhere.
Yeah, I actually didn't go to business school, but I attend several courses too. But it's not a
Now
business
you're
school.
talking. So you augment your practical experiential knowledge. You also augment it with continuous learning.
That's it. And because of my relationship with the supermarket owners, I was able to move with some of them very well to understand how they merchandise their products.
Okay.
So, and I tell you, I leverage on people experience a lot. And luckily for me,
To expand yours.
to expand mine. So I look at their principle very well. I look at their approach to business. I learn from them. I move around there, see what they do. And I have some of them as a mentor. So I was able to get so much things I was supposed to put so much fun to learn in the business school. I was able to learning from them with.
So you haven't gone to a business school to learn?
I've not, and I still want to go though,
but for now,
I'm still, it's everywhere.
Different sources and poach from different people. And I bet since it's been working for you, what do you do when you think marketing and promotions? What do you do?
Yeah, it's actually big.
I've seen your billboards.
It's actually very.
I've seen your billboards on the road. I also have seen your branded shelves in supermarkets and departmental stores. What other things do you do?
Yeah, apart from that, we do a lot of physical direct to customer sales.
Oh, how do you do that?
We try to do some polls that we ask questions from our customers. We have a list of our customers' name. So we call them one often as they buy the product.
Oh, you have a data bank?
We have a data bank
of your contacts of your customers.
In fact, recently now, once you buy a product from one, the following day they have to call you up to actually your story about the products you're buying.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
You do such follow-ups?
Serious follow-up. Now, when the company becomes so big, you need to start doing so many research like that so that you don't lose your customers. Because now before it was missing, overseen so much. Now that I have like close to 5 outlets now, different stores, I cannot connect very well. So you need to put people there to connect with the customers.
So you try to do more of personal selling, relationship marketing.
Relationship marketing, that's what we do now.
So relationship marketing is of a larger focus for you.
It is.
Than advertising, promotions.
We still do that. We still do that a lot. In fact, we have a budget in which we do every month on promotion, sales, and all that we put together. Every month we come up with.
But you try to do more of relationship marketing.
Because without that, you know, there's no how you can do a product which is 100%. So you need to tell them that even if anything happens to the shoe or the shirts you're buying, you still have a guarantee.
You do guarantees?
We have guarantees.
How many years guarantee?
Perhaps
maybe 10 years.
No. It's just to have a relationship with your customer that they don't have to be
You dodged that question. and you're taking a sip.
Yeah, sure.
to confirm that you don't want me to go there. Well, I'll respect your space. You perhaps don't want to commit yourself on camera, but you have committed yourself, though, that there are some form of guarantees when you purchase. If you have issues with them after a short duration of time, you could always come back to the store. Do you replace for them or you repair?
Sometimes we will replace if it's not so long.
Okay.
We replace maybe like 2 to 3 days. We replace, and if it's not like that, maybe like 1 month. We actually try to repair for the next month.
Repair for them.
To repair.
Okay.
And we try to know the condition of we try to look at the history of that particular product. That is what we actually learn from it when we try to connect that.
Oh.
What actually when do you produce this product? What was the thing you used to produce it then? So we try to find maybe there's a gun problem. We try to go back to the history of that particular product.
So you're deriving like 2-3 benefits when you encourage customers to bring back their products. Not only are you enjoying that's positive goodwill, which is customer loyalty. You're also using it as a form of research and quality control mechanism. So about 3 benefits in one decision, one activity. That's quite deep, I must say. That's quite deep. What other forms of relationship marketing do you practice that you're willing to share with us? Besides billboard advertising,
we do billboard, we do flyers, we do radios. Now we do social media now.
Everybody seems to be launching onto social media now, but most people are not doing it the right way.
Yes, they are not doing it carefully. They just follow the path because a lot of people are doing it.
The bandwagon.
Yeah, and it's not actually like that.
So how is it like?
You have to understand what you're doing very, very well.
Yeah.
And you must not follow suit to what everybody is doing. Because the kind of business you do might not be different from what they are doing, and you can't the path you're taking might be different. So when people try to say, you're not on this platform, I don't know that doesn't mean.
Mr. Bamiro, you have said so much without saying anything, without divulging anything.
That's cool.
you don't have to hoard your strategy.
I'm not holding
You don't have to hoard your strategy. I mean, you said so much without divulging anything. And I want to find out, because my job to find out specifics of what Why Not is doing that is helping his organization to get it right.
Okay, to my experience, my own personal experience.
Yeah.
Social media is very expensive. Very, very
Really?
expensive.
I thought it's cheaper than the traditional,
it is not.
our own form of traditional.
That's why you said if a lot of people try to do e-commerce sites, and you see only 2 e-commerce sites are existing with the whole, in fact, 2, 3, 4 years ago, a lot of people want to do e-commerce sites. Where are they today? Only just 2, even the 2, only one is actually looking good.
Yeah, the other one is
just shaking. So it's you spend so much of money on social media, so you need to get your physical market right.
Well, I think we should distinguish between e-commerce and promoting your products on social media. They are 2 different things. I was going to ask you later on if online selling is your thing, but in terms of social media promotion, I know you don't want to go into that, so I'll just respect your space again. I'll drop that. Do you presently sell online?
We do sell online, but presently now it's still, let me just say, it's still like 5%. So,
but do you have your own platform where people can procure and make orders online?
We have platform which people can pay online, but at the same time we are still trying to make it better.
Why don't you leverage on existing e-commerce platforms, both within?
We tried to do it like 3 years ago. We tried to partner with them, which we did for like 6 months, but it wasn't just working.
What was wrong? What was the issue?
I think the issue is that the return policy, there's some policy in which they do that is not favorable, and also the high commission in which they want to be taking, and also the logistic part is not actually so easy like that to our kind of products.
So it's not favorable to your business model.
It's not at all.
And you were not willing to accommodate.
We try so much, but we don't want to dig our into what we disturb the other party if we are not ready yet. So we just decide to just pause on it.
Do you do events as a form of promotional activity?
What I do is I support several event people do. I support people's events. Presently now I've not done any event, but I still hope to come up with one.
What form of events do you support?
I support entrepreneurship events. I support fashion events.
When you say support, how do you mean?
Sometimes we support them by giving our product to them to share to the audience. Sometimes we support by giving them billboards, support by sometimes financial and all that we do for them. Indirectly we get publicity in the event. So
I've seen CSR by merging your CSR activities to certain events. You've seen that as an opportunity to also promote your products.
Brand, sure.
Genius. Now I'd like to know, if I walk into a Why Not store, what kind of experience will I be taking away?
Yeah, presently now also is the serene environment, the way we display our product now, which every month we'll review it. Okay. We want to make it good because we want to make it better, and also we're coming up with something now which I don't.
How do you go about the review? What are the metrics? What are the indices with which you conduct your review or analysis?
Yeah, we make a research. That is being done by our consultant now.
Okay, you have a consultant that does that for you now.
Now we have consultant now. Before we don't have, now we have like 3 consultants now that they are in the several department for us. Okay. Some are into advance, some are into accounting.
Because the store experience is part of marketing, and a lot of our people do not know that, and that's why I decided to ask you that question. If you are conscious of that fact that the store experience of the prospect is part of marketing, and if you're conscious of it, what are the lessons that we can derive from that? And I'm happy that you mentioned that you have a consultant that handles that aspect for you now, who does a monthly review of your store ambience or the store activities, the floor experience and what have you. And then does it do a report for you, or it just makes recommendations?
Coming up.
Now, pricing is also part of marketing, and I reckon that having worked with the Asians, you won't joke with pricing as a variable in marketing. How do you go about your pricing strategy?
They do reports after, we do it every 2-3 months, so they give us a review. So we try to work on the review they are bringing. So they also come up with suggestions and ideas in how we can better the approach.
Okay.
If you the store you told me you went to that time, if you went there again, you will see that it's a different shape in which you are using and not the one we have been using before. So we keep coming up with different
keep
ideas,
reviewing
everything
and modifying.
We just don't produce shoes, just produce the shirts. We keep reviewing the
Now
display.
you have 5 stores now, right?
Yes, we have 5 stores now.
Across 4 states or 5 states in the country?
Across 4 states.
4 states in the country, and you have 64 outlets.
This market, yes.
Now location, which is place, is one of the 4 primary P's of marketing. So it's a strategic decision by any stretch. How do you determine which location to choose as one of your outlets?
Yeah, the first thing is we actually look at the number of departmental store that is there.
Okay.
So the first thing we do is to open up with the smart departmental stores. We don't open one store without actually working with the stores first.
I didn't get that.
The supermarkets.
Yeah.
Anytime we're going to a state, we have to work with the supermarket around there first.
Okay, so your strategy is not to go into a geographical region
and just go and put one store there. No. The first
you
thing
look
that
for
we
existing supermarkets.
We work on this. So
and
we
then
get
you try to get a space.
We get to get a space from them. We try to work with their customer. Try to make them understand what why not is. So in the next 6 to 8 months.
So what that tells me is that not only do you look for space, you also embed your staff there.
Yeah, we put a staff there.
And then the staff does a form
communicates with the customer,
canvassing and relating with the customer to understand the needs of the market in that region.
Yes, because we notice that some places we have more of shoe selling, but some places we have more of slipper selling. So we have to understand that before we plant a one store there. So we must.
So market research for you is intense and continuous.
It is
because you
don't joke with money.
So how do you determine which supermarket or departmental store to embed your products?
Anyone that is selling groceries that has a very large stock that can accommodate us, we go with them. And we actually.
Do you consider the location of the supermarket?
Yes, we don't really look at the location. We look at the sales of the supermarket.
You look at the traffic. You look at the traffic, human traffic.
So apart from the morning, I will put people there around there. Or we sleep in the hotel there about to understand.
But you actually spend time there.
We spend time to look at watch the supermarket very well. Sometimes we go on a Monday to see how they are doing on Monday, and we go on a Friday.
Yeah, I remember when we were trying to track you down, and our production assistant was going to your head office several times, and they were telling us you were in Port Harcourt. Then when I eventually met with you, I said, what's happening in Port Harcourt? He said, oh, you want to set up an outlet there, and you have to go to Port Harcourt to actually live there
to look
for
at
a while to do a kind of research. That's what we in academics do regularly. It's like a field experience.
It's a field experience.
So you actually do not sit back in the office as an armchair executive.
At all.
You go out there to the field to conduct.
I enter the field first before bringing my team there.
Oh, you actually go first to the field.
I enter the field first. I will have opened it to a little bit and I'll bring people to open it more.
So you have a good understanding of the dynamics on ground.
Yes, sure, because starting up anyway is not quite easy. So it might not be able to be done by some of the team. You need to build the ground first.
So when people are
telling you no, you know what to tell them and what to bring up for them.
So your own strategy is when you're moving to a new outlet, you go there physically, personally, and break the ground and study the place and also run the show
Run it for a while
before bringing your team, so that you understand the dynamics on ground, the rudiments.
That is, so when we are bringing
So when they are giving you a report, you can relate to what they are saying.
It, I will have know a lot about the place. So by that time we are bringing people there, we are already thinking of how we can bring up one store into it. But we'll have captured at least like 10 to 15.
So that's your own way of establishing. That's your own way of establishing feasibility studies. You know. Now, pricing is also part of marketing, and I reckon that having worked with the Asians, you won't joke with pricing as a variable in marketing. How do you go about your pricing strategy?
Yeah, depending on before we just used to put price, but right now for the past 6 to 7 years now, we have a margin in which we used to mark up our products.
Like a percentage?
A percentage in which we must put on our products.
Okay.
And also
you look at your production cost?
Yes. So we also look at we also actually have to put the promotion period there too. If we are going to end up doing some promotion on this item, what price should we put on it now? Because we don't change our price no matter how the economy, the rate of how the products materials is going up. We don't increase the price. And we have put that factor when we are actually adding the price of the products when we produce them.
Yeah, that looks like a very simple, basic approach to it. But I do know also that in retail business there are some other considerations that go into play when you're determining the price of
we
products.
Also look at the market in which our competitors too. We look at them, which is a foreign brand. We try to look at, we want to produce this kind of product that looks somehow, and look at the price they're producing it. We look at the cost price before we put price.
So you survey the market, and see.
Well.
How about trying to find out what you think the prospects might be willing to pay for it? Do you factor that into your strategy for pricing?
Those are the things we do when we are studying the previous producer of that kind of products. We have competitors, and there's no how you kind of produce anything. Some of them have been producing it way back. The market in which we are.
Yep.
The competition which because we want to produce similar thing that you can get in a foreign shoe.
So how do you source for materials for your production?
You will still sort those ones out foreign. We import those ones now.
Where?
Sir?
Where?
We import from Italy, from Spain, and some from China. But we have an import. I don't do that. I have importers that I work with.
Okay, you don't bother yourself to.
There are so many things I don't bother myself. My core 100% is how to market this product. So
branding, packaging, marketing, and selling.
So we have actually worked with the team.
No. I don't want us to rush over that. And you know why? Because in our environment, people tend to just want to be a one-man person that does it all. You have an idea of maybe supplying chickens into eateries, and the first thing people want to do is to set up a poultry. They buy vehicles for distribution. Whereas if you understand the concept of value chain, you just look at the chain and then figure out
which one
on this process, this leg, which one of these can I plug myself into. So you haven't bothered yourself to venture into importation. You only identify reliable importers, and then you give them your specs. Fantastic. These are genius ideas. That I'm getting from you, and I'm already really, really bristling with excitement, to hear all of this thinking, this profound thinking that you have brought to bear on the common act of footwear, just to wear a slipper or a shoe. But it couldn't have been easy peasy for you. You made it sound as if it was a rosy picture and it was smooth sailing.
It wasn't. It's gathered process. It wasn't like, because it gets to a time that they were producing bad product for us. We have to go and start
some of your
up.
producers.
Yes, we have to go and start up because they want to make more profit. Mm-hmm. So they try to
human greed was setting in.
So we actually bought machines, bring them down to start producing, but it was slowing the marketing job done, because now I have to be overseeing production.
Overseeing production.
People who are producing, a lot of headache. So we stop that again, go back to our former approach, to what is actually happening. So we noticed that we needed time to understand the people who understand what you want to do. But it takes a while for them to do that. And a lot of them now, they know what we want. They know our spec. They know we don't.
Because it's a brand.
It's a brand already. So and a lot of them want to do business with us because they understand the volume in which we do.
Exactly.
We do close to 3,000 to 4,000 products, a shoe on its own per month. So they needed that kind of person that can do in volume.
Yeah.
So
naturally.
Now they fight for me now to get me. Please, why not? We have to. We can do. So it takes time.
And that gives you a stronger leveraging
In fact,
power.
it's a level that
in negotiation.
Okay. If you are doing this thing, okay, do 5,000 pieces for me. I'm going to give you some money. I'm going to give you this amount of money. After 3 months, we give you some. Now they want to. So
your negotiation is now you have a stronger clout to negotiate because of the volume that you do. What other challenges do you face in this business? Generally, in terms of your operations?
Human resources is a very big. That is a key headache. In fact,
how do you mean?
Human resources and still production too. There's still production. But then now, for why not now?
Is it the work ethics of your personnel?
Yes.
The kind of work ethics you desire, you're not getting it.
We're not getting the work ethic, and also
so how do you address
I won't say
that?
People are lazy. Or I don't know. I don't want to say that. In fact, it gets to a time that a bank wants to approach us with a loan, a very good amount of loan. I tell them, come, we cannot take this loan now. Why? Because we don't have the capacity to sustain this money. I don't want to go into problem. Not that I can't sell this if I put, but who are to produce? They don't have the strength. The problem they're having, sir, is everybody wants to work as an individual. In fact, I put them, come, 3 of you start up a company. Instead of me working with a lot of people, let us partner together. Three people, at least we have like 6. No, they want to do. So it will take a lot of time for them to produce one item for us.
Yeah.
So they don't want to look at what they are doing in China and to incorporate it to our system. Yeah. So our people are so greedy that just one person, and in fact, when you die now, all your company die.
The business.
Why can't you form a company? No, they're dead. So it's a real big headache. In fact, so I've been disturbing me that I have to go to China, but because of the zeal, the passion I have for my country, I say we must get it right.
Local content.
The worst thing I can do is to partner with the company there that will bring his own factory here and produce for us. But for me to go out and produce, no, we are not going to do that.
Well,
we are going to wait for the time for them to come and produce them, not to going to them.
Wow. And you seem to be touching on a problem that some of us have been criticizing for so long, which is the myopic outlook of the average African in his approach to doing business. Meanwhile, if you just embrace division of labor in your factory, you will enjoy scale because you will produce far more,
but they don't
in less time.
I don't know.
And that will reduce the cost of production.
I've gone several, spend more money in the hotel, sit people down, come, let's do like this, let's do like that. But still yet, they don't understand the philosophy behind it. I don't know. I think it's just
the stakeholders concept. We'll keep preaching it. The value chain concept has worked for you. The power of leveraging has worked for you. The stakeholders concept is working for you. And that's what we're preaching. That's what you're preaching. So we'll keep preaching until our people embrace it. I think it's a social acculturation thing. It's a mindset that we'll get out of with repeated clamor from people like you, from people like me. Over time, we'll get a wrap. Now, you've been able to build within a space of less than 10 years this Hammerfall's business. 64 outlets is no joke in a terrain like Nigeria, I must say. And I'm not only impressed that you have about 64 outlets, I'm also impressed at the way you've been able to diversify over time. You've moved from producing slippers to producing shoes, producing wedges, bags, shirts, now ties, boxers. And then recently I walked into your store and I saw that you are doing ethnic wears, urban ethnic wears. And for me, I said, okay, this guy is really, really moving like an umbrella. So it will be sad to come back in 100 years and not find this business. Have you been thinking along that line?
I thought of it so
Is that a concern for you as well?
It is, and we're actually we're working like in the next, by 2020, we are trying to bring in shareholders into the game and actually publicize the company. That is my vision in the next
So
5 years now.
your next 5-year plan is to go public,
to go public.
to become a PLC.
So
You're going to
be
the stock
10 years.
market.
We're going to be 10 next year. So that is.
So we'll be saying, why not shares on the stock market?
That is what we're looking at.
And that way, what is the benefit of that? You know, you're going to be diluted. You're going to have a board now of people who might be on your board and who may not share in the vision.
First is the vision of me trying to not outrun the business for myself. How to make the business live longer than yourself.
So you're already thinking about how to make the business outlive you.
I've spent so much of time in working up this brand, and I won't want to see something happen to me and the brand is not forthcoming. But some of the disadvantages is still the manufacturing side of it. Because if they are not well organized, we're going to be having problems.
Well, kudos. And well done.
Thank you very much.
On that note, it's a bright note. And on that bright note, I want to say, well done and kudos once again.
Thank you very much, sir.
And I want to show my appreciation on behalf of the crew to you
Thank
for
you very
coming
much.
to share your business insights with us on the program, as well as share your experience with us on the program. I believe many of our viewers have learned a lot from this session. I've learned a lot from this session, and it's been emotionally satisfying for me. Well done.
Thank you very much,
I
sir.
wish you good luck
Thank you very much, sir.
in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much, sir.
On that note, we'd like to call it wraps on the program today. Thank you so very much for spending part of your time with us. Until next time.